Alright, exclusive editions, take 3. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. This is Carly Stevens Books. Have you ever wanted to make an exclusive edition of one of your books? I'm talking to the indie authors out there. I am about to release my first, and so I wanted to not only share the magnificence that is this book with you, but walk you through what steps I took in order to make that happen. Alright, so here are the original copies of Laertes that you can find at any retailer at all. This is the paperback, this is the hardcover. They are beautiful, gorgeous, but just you wait, because the special edition, the exclusive edition of Laertes came in yesterday. Now, I was going to do a whole unboxing video, but I was at the dentist for hours right before I was able to pick up the book, and so one side of my face was all numbed up, and it just was not a good look to film while I did not have full control over my face. So that didn't really work out. Then I filmed this entire video again earlier today, and as I was watching it back, I realized that there was like makeup smeared on my face. So anyway, we're back, and I can finally show you the special edition of Laertes, a Hamlet retelling. Just feast your eyes on how beautiful that is. It is gorgeous. I am absolutely in love. So let me walk you through the features here. We have an alternate cover, obviously. The original is black. This one is white. I like that this one is matte. If you look at the original hardcover, it is shiny, as you can see. There is that pattern in the back, but one thing I like besides the matte is that you can see that kind of Art Deco in the back really clearly. So that is beautiful. The quotation on the back is a different one. The original was much longer. This one is a fan favorite quote that I think just encapsulates the story so beautifully. Now, I am not a fan of books that don't give you a plot summary. They just give you something like this. So fear not. In the inside flap, there is still the plot summary that you can read if you want to know what the book is about. And then there's me in the back. As far as what is inside, I am just in love with the illustrated chapter headings. Huge shout out to Ink Splattered Pages, whom I will link down below if you want to check out her Instagram. But look at that! Look how beautiful that is! I mean, not only is it just the perfect dark academia vibe, but you also get a perfect representation of the relationship between Hamlet and Laertes. I didn't need to ask who is who. I knew immediately who is who just from the the positions and everything. And then here is the other illustration. If you've read Laertes, which I know some of you have, then you'll probably remember that Henry, or Henri, since he's French, draws Laertes at a pivotal point in the story, and this is that drawing. So I am just absolutely about those chapter headings. So they switch off depending on which country the chapter takes place in, Denmark or France. This book has all of the features that the original copies have. So all of these have discussion questions at the end for book clubs and things like that. This one has all of that, and a chapter from Ophelia's point of view at the end here. So a prequel chapter about Ophelia, and then there is the full text of a letter that is only there's only one sentence of in the book from Laertes to Ophelia at the end. So you get some bonus material. So this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So if you're interested in getting this, you can go to barnesandnoble.com or go into a Barnes & Noble and pre-order Laertes, the special edition, which comes out October 22nd officially. For the first 10 people who pre-order Laertes and then show me proof of that pre-order, you will get some pre-order goodies. So I have some copies of the artwork back there in full brightness that I'll be giving to those 10 people. So if you're interested in that, you can get in touch with me 2 different ways. One, you can respond directly to any of my newsletters. Those will get to me directly. Or you can just email me, carly@carly-stevens.com. So I'll have all of that information below as well if you want to be somebody who gets the artwork in addition to the book. Okay, now for those who are interested in putting together a special edition of their own, I want to walk you through some of the basics of how I put this together. Actually, not even the basics. I'm going to get into it, how I made this happen. So I have a really good relationship with one of the general managers of a Barnes & Noble in Colorado, one that's big and popular and has done some amazing launch events and stuff for much larger authors than me. And she, out of the blue, said, I would love to help you with a launch, a relaunch, a special edition. Just let me know what your next project is and we'll promote it in the store and all of this. So it got me thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool opportunity. And I realized that Laertes with spooky season coming up would be the perfect book to do a special edition for. So I got started working on that. I had so many ideas about what I wanted this special edition to look like. I kind of bit off more than I could chew. I did a bunch of research into like brand new illustrated covers and stuff like that just ended up being too expensive. So I did a few things concurrently to get this project underway. One, I reached out to my cover artist. So it's a service called 100 Covers online. That's 100 covers. And they do really incredible covers for an unbeatable price. Communication can sometimes get a little bit dicey, and occasionally you need to go back and forth a couple times until you really get the cover where you want it, but they're very accommodating. And look at the work that they are able to do. I've used them for a bunch of projects. If you've seen the 10UN Academy stories, that book of short stories, that was them. So yeah, they're fantastic. So I reached out to 100 Covers and said, how much would it be just for a dust jacket of a previous cover with a couple of tweaks? So the spine is a little bit bigger on this one because of a few, additions, and the quote on the back is going to be different, and the color, of course. And so they gave me a quote, and it sounded good to me, so they worked on this. All right, I also, as they were working on this new cover, sent out the bat signal on Instagram. I have some author friends there, and I asked, who have you used in the past that you would recommend as somebody who does bookish art, preferably affordable bookish art. There are so many amazing artists out there, but some of the most sought after ones, even when they are accepting commissions, are pretty pricey. So I was thinking, what about somebody who is more affordable, has that dark academia aesthetic, and comes recommended by somebody who knows that they're pretty good to work with. So that is how I got connected to Sky, who does the work for Ink Splattered Pages. Her work is just it's a really cool style that I enjoyed. Right off the bat, I thought she would be a good fit for what I was looking for Laertes. So I reached out to her, got her prices. We agreed on a couple of projects. I sent her pictures that kind of showed about what I was looking for in terms of like pose and things like that. And she turned these sketches around really quickly. It was like a week for each one. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you have projects like mine at all, that you reach out to Sky. She was just wonderful to work with, and I was very pleased with the final result as well. So I had that, and then the third thing that I needed to do was reformat the book. So I opened a new Vellum file. Vellum is the software that I use to format all of my books. It was an investment, but it's an investment that I think is one of the best I've made because it's actually paid off. And it's allowed me to do some really nice formatting just all on my own, like what you saw with this special edition. So I started a new Vellum file. I imported all of the text of Laertes in there, and the special edition extras in the back. And then I had to create a new chapter heading background, which I had never done before, but it wasn't too hard to figure out with Vellum until I got it where I wanted it. That is an important piece, that formatting piece, because I needed to know the exact number of pages to send to 100 covers to finalize the wraparound portion of the cover. They work on the front first, like the kind of thumbnail version first, and that gets approved, and after that they start working on all the wraparound stuff. So yeah, had to get the page count down, and then they were able to do all of that. So once I had everything in a file, a PDF file plus the cover as a separate file, I went into barnesandnoble.com. Now, like I said, the relationship I have with this general manager is just outstanding. She is so encouraging to indie authors and authors in general. I mean, she just is a champion of books and her store, and it just works out really nicely to pair the two, of course. Barnes & Noble Corporate is not as easy to communicate with, so if you're planning on doing a Barnes & Noble exclusive, just a couple things to keep in mind. The main hiccup that I had was that in order to set up a vendor account to get paid, for your work, you have to send in a tax document, a W-9, which is not a complicated document at all. However, the way that they want that turned in is very specific, and even the tiniest thing can start the process of submitting all over again, and it takes them about 3 weeks to approve or disapprove of this stupid document that again is not a complicated one, but they are just so specific about the way they want it phrased, and take a picture this way and make sure that the font is this size, and it's a pain in the butt. I'm just gonna say. So be proactive about sending that in, because you might have to kind of go back and forth a couple times. I ended up emailing the people directly after a couple months of this, and just being annoying, like emailing very consistently, and that's not my MO normally, but it was just getting ridiculous. Okay, so once that was all set up and I was able to get paid, which is important, then the uploading procedure is very straightforward. It's a lot like Ingram Spark, but without as many small things that you can kind of add or subtract. So yeah, it was pretty simple. I set the pre-order date, and then it was ready to go. It was up on barnesandnoble.com very shortly thereafter. So is this project, this exclusive, this Barnes & Noble exclusive, lucrative? Time will tell, but so far I don't regret anything. It was, as far as a complete book project goes, one with some specialty aspects to it, it was not very expensive to produce, and I'm hoping that it will, do well, that the pre-orders will come in, and the signings that I'm going to do at the store will be successful. I mean, look at this. How could it not be, right? Yeah, so that is the entire process that I used to get this project off the ground. If you want your own beautiful copy of Laertes, the exclusive edition, you know where to find it, Barnes & Noble, and get those pre-order goodies. It sounds like you wouldn't have a chance, but trust me, you have a chance to get those pre-order goodies. Just let me know that you pre-ordered the book, show me some proof, and I will send you some bookish artwork, which I know we all love. So if you have any questions, like I said, I'm an open book. Anything that I feel comfortable answering, which is almost everything, I will let you know. So put questions down below, order Laertes, and I will see you next week. Bye.